Alrighty, welcome back. Today we are going to be going over some of the best teams as of part 1 for GDC. These are not going to be specifically for the new LRs like the last video, just 5 overall of the best teams and then some honorable mentions as well as just discussion about other teams. So with that being said, we are going to be doing this a little bit different from the usual way that I do these videos. Typically what we would do is go in here and look through the box and all of that fun stuff. But specifically for this video, we are going to be doing things a little bit different. Now, if you guys don't know, a Dokkan YouTuber named Havohe used to do a similar format to this for best teams, and I took some inspiration from what they did because they decided to step down. They have a whole video on it. I'll link that video and their channel as well. But what I decided to do was take a sort of inspiration from the graphic that they used in order to show the information and sort of apply that in my own style or my graphics guy's style. But, you know, it's how we're going to be doing this. So just keep in mind when you see that, that is where I got the inspiration from. Definitely want to give credit for where I got the idea and all that fun stuff. And if you guys are not okay with that, just let me know and we could definitely alter it moving forward. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the first team. Okay, so the first team we are going to be taking a look at is Future Saga. Now, this is a very wide sort of range for a team, right? Future Saga has like a super class variant you can use. It has an extreme class variant that you can use. And overall, it is sort of just like a little bit of a tricky team to sort of compose. And there's multiple builds that we can go for. But if you were just looking to run pure Future Saga, this is probably how I would set it up right now. Now, the way that the graphic is going to work, I guess I should explain this a little bit for those of you looking at the screen right now, is I have the core 6 characters that you're going to be running and then some alternatives. This guide is not based on the rotations, the floaters, anything like that. I tried to kind of give you guys some rotations that you could potentially run, but just keep that in mind that the setup for this is going to be based on what you see on the screen. So what I would do is run 2 of the blue Goku and Vegeta characters, and if you want to run those as your rotations, you absolutely can. And then what you would want to do is look at your other potential options with other LRs, Super Easy A's, Easy A's, all of that fun stuff. So some of the other options that we have for Future Saga are going to consist of physical Vegito Blue for his support, his ability to deal with supers, not supers, but mainly normals, his ability to dodge supers if you run into that chance, the counters on normals and stuff like that, the damage reduction that he has on normals is going to work out very well. Now, the next character we want to talk about is STR Rose. We're going to be talking a lot about STR Rose and Zamasu in this video. They are going to pop up on almost every team. And then the same could be said for, not for Int Rose, but with Int Rose, he's going to be a really good partner for him with the limited time buff. So this isn't always going to be the case with this character, but for right now, he is going to work out just fine. Now, looking at another character that we have on this specific setup is going to be the new Easy A Int Fuse Zamasu. I really like the way that he's operating as well as the AGL Super Easy A for Goku Black Rose, right? I think that's actually a really solid character right now, and you can definitely get away with running him in most situations for extreme teams. That's probably where I'd be focusing on running that character. So right now, I think he fits into the meta really well, and that is the core 6 for Future Saga. Now, when it comes to alternatives, what you could potentially do is run the Goku Black clones. You guys can see I just have one, but he's going to represent the whole team here in terms of like what you need to be doing with that character. And then we have the Super Easy A for the Zamasu and Goku and Zamasu's clones. Basically Goku Black, but it's technically named Zamasu Goku, right? The next character is going to be Tech Vegito Blue with his limited time buffs. And then last but not least, a last ditch option potentially could be Physical Rose. Now, when it comes to other characters that you might find yourself running, we could potentially be seeing stuff like Int Vegeta and Trunks if they were to get an Easy A during the celebration, which I don't know at this point if that's looking likely with the Int Zamasu Easy A, Future Gohan, Physical Sword of Hope Trunks. There are a lot of good options with that team. And I think right now, for sure, because it's like the main focus of GDC, Future Saga is definitely one of the main focuses of the game right now. So it's definitely not a surprise to me at any rate, right, that it's going to be one of the best teams in the game right now. So team number 1, Future Saga. Let's move on to the second team. So the second team I want to talk about in this video is the fused fighter setup led by STR, Blue, Goku, and Vegeta. Now, there are like 4 different ways that you could run this team, but this is the one I mainly want to focus on because this would be really good for events like the Goku Black and Zamasu fight, to have 2 of the Goku and Vegeta in order to have, dodging in slot 1 and stuff like that. You're really going to be able to hold it down this way pretty consistently. So that is why I have this variant, but again, you could run this with Tech Vegito, AGL Gogeta, right? Physical Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. There really are a lot of ways that you can set that team up, and it's still going to work out just fine for you. So please keep that in mind. The leader on this one is going to vary just depending on the sort of build that you're running, but this is the one I want to focus on because it is the new LR. Now, when it comes to the core setup here, you guys can see we have STR, Blue, Goku, and Vegeta. This character is going to work out very well for you. We have Tech Vegito, one of the best characters in the game still easily. You guys know that. The Goku Black and Zamasu fight can pose a bit of a challenge for them, but that's just kind of how they tried to power creep the 10-year characters. But I would imagine we shall see kind of like moving forward how that is going to work, right? How are we going to sort of see like the power creep from the GDC, right? Do we go back to longer fights or something like that? I definitely could see that happening with GDC overall. But Tech Vegito, still very good character. AGL Gogeta, very solid character as well. I'm sure a lot of you guys who are like newer or summoning on these banners are going to have this AGL Gogeta due to the fact that he is on the Part 1 banner, and then Vegito will be on the Part 2 banner. Now, when it comes to the next core character here, we have Tech Gotenks. Works very well in short form content, especially when enemies have Ki Blast supers. Very high damage reduction, links up very well, has an active skill that hits very hard, right? Can do damage, can perform well defensively. Just a really overall solid character. If you were going to be going for longer events, I'd probably prioritize a stacking character or just like a character that isn't on fused fighters, but we're sticking within the category here. So just keep that in mind. Now, the other 2 characters you guys can see on your screen are the Year 7 LRs. You guys know how these guys work at this point. They are very, 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 very good. Just really no complaints to me when it comes to them. Maybe turn 3 would be like where I'd probably be a little bit like, suspect out with them, or be like, oh, that's not very good, right? Because offensively and defensively, they can falter a little bit. And offensively, they don't have as much juice right away, but they definitely can work. But when you fuse or when you transform, you guys know how these characters operate. Gogeta 4 is one of the best characters in the game with a permanent scouter, and the damage reduction per rainbow orb, and the counter ability that he has for supers. And then the same thing could be said for the Tech LR Gods with the dodging and stuff like that. Extremely valuable mechanics that both these characters are bringing to the table. So definitely want to give them the love that they deserve. And they still fit on the core Fused Fighters team for sure, because they are both still, top 5, 6, 7 units in the game right now. It's a very tough meta right now because, again, the hardest fight is doing a really toxic mechanic of locking and stuff like that, and has an AoE. So right now, characters are just in a really funky spot, really, no matter how you split it. So just keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to alternatives, what you could do is just run Rose and Zamasu without their full passive, right? Because they need a full extreme class or a full future saga. Allies just sort of get to where they need to be. I think physical Vegito Blue works out pretty damn well on this team being a fused fighter. Really, you could probably run him over Gotenks on the core setup at this point. I have to get more experience using physical Vegito Blue with his Super Easy A. I'm just a little bit more comfortable using Gotenks right now. But again, it just does come down to the event. So if you want to put Vegito on the core 6, you absolutely can. No problem whatsoever. And then as just like sort of an honorable mention, I threw on the Hercule that has the fusion with Goku active skill. He has some clutch ability in the new Rose, Goku Black, and Zamasu fight as well, with his ability to dodge, with the damage reduction that he has. He just works out very, very well for what you're looking for with the team. So I think Fused Fighters is still easily one of the best teams in the game. And again, you have to keep in mind with Fused Fighters, you are going to have access to a lot of different leader skills. We're just focusing on the Blue Goku one here, but again, with Tech Vegito, you're going to have access to characters like Beast Gohan. With AGL Vegeta, you're going to have access to successor characters. So you're going to have access to characters like why can't I remember his name? Grade 8 Vegeta, and then some other options as well. We'll be talking about him in a little bit. So just keep that in mind when we are talking about the Fused Fighters team, that there are plenty of options for this one. Int Merge Zamasu can be ran on this team. Tech Vegito Blue with his limited time buffs. Just a lot of different ways to set the squad up. So really liking the way the Fused Fighters team is. Let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so next up on the list, I have Super Bosses. Now, really kind of just wanted to take advantage of the fact that we can talk about this team right now, because it's right now it has a really good engine, and that is just Rose, Goku Black, and Zamasu, right? Like, I'm sure it doesn't take like a genius to figure that one out, right? Like, it's just Rose, Goku Black, and Zamasu put this specific team in just such a good spot, having two of them with the support, having the full extreme class setup, and just the overall options you have are really good characters. Now, this team probably wouldn't have made the list, but right now, it's the fact that you have this int merge Zamasu, who is making it very easy for the Broly trio, like a real good orb changer for the Broly trio, to be consistently seeing their, 7 orbs more often and getting that guaranteed dodge. Now, this team definitely has like a weak link in that 6th spot right now. I think really what you could do is put a clone there, but I kind of wanted just to separate the clones and put them in their own little their own little world, if you will, in terms of like where we're going to be talking about them. That's sort of why they're just not in this specific spot, but they are definitely on the list. I'm sure that's not a spoiler to most of you, or that is a spoiler, but it's not a surprise to most of you, right? So Super Bosses right now, it has a really nice like actual setup. And I think that the fact that you have Rose, Goku Black, and Zamasu, you have the Rose Super Easy A, you have the limited time buffs on Int Rose right now, you have Int Zamasu with his Easy A, the orb changing, the damage reduction, the dodging he's able to do. Really like the way that that character's set up. If you are a veteran player, or you've been playing for a couple of years, I guess that would make you a veteran anyway, but surely there's a decent chance that you have some dupes in this in Zamasu at this point, hopefully. If not, at 55%, he's still okay, but definitely not perfect or ideal by any means, but you can definitely get away with running him. So, that is sort of a really good buff for them. And then again, we do have characters like the Broly trio for their dodging, for their support, what they're able to do. And then Cell Max is a nice little defensive option on the taunt turn. Other than that, he's not the best, but I don't think he's worth like just completely writing off. But he did unfortunately have a bit of a drop off when Worldwide 2024 hit. It was kind of crazy just how quickly he sort of was like number 2 in the game, and then he just wasn't, right? So just keep that in mind. Still think he's really good. Not really good, but I still think he's good. But you can definitely work your way around some other Super Boss characters if you want. When it comes to like other characters I could run, I would recommend Hit or Physical Rose, AGL Broly, Tech Merge Zamasu. You have a decent bit of options, but Super Boss is definitely one of the more fun teams in the game right now, just for the fact that Rose, Goku Black, and Zamasu are a 220% lead, and you can run 2 of them. So that's why I have them on this list. Let's move on to the 4th team. Okay, so next up, I have Rose and the Clones. This is actually just one of the best teams in the game right now, in my opinion. Really, the only thing that is like a major drawback for these guys to me is the fact that they do not have a very high HP pool, right? On a 220% lead, they're only at 568,000 here with the setup that I'm running. You just have to keep in mind with the way that the game is working right now that characters are well above teams are just well above that 560,000 HP mark. We're getting to the point where we're in the, like a future Saga setup that's like HP focused is definitely like over 1 million pretty consistently. But we don't really need to dwell on this team too much. There's basically just a core 6 here. And then in the alternative section, this is going to be any future Saga leader, any, Realm of Gods leader, any Super Boss leader, anything like that. You're going to be good to go. A time traveling leader, right? Like the STR Goku Black Easy A, Super Easy A that just came out. I think that you can definitely get away with rocking a setup like that. But if you have Rose, the new LR, just run him with the clones and you're going to be in a pretty good spot for this 4th team. Really, this team has a little bit of everything in terms of offensive and defensive mechanics. You think of a mechanic, and this team basically has it, right? Offensive stuff, we have effective against all types. We have crits. That's obviously not very much these days, but we have characters that dodge, characters that do guaranteed additionals, characters that have a scouter, characters that, again, have guaranteed dodging, not guaranteed dodging, but guaranteed additionals, stuff like that. Action breaks, scouters, right? The tag exchange, active skills. This team has a little bit of everything. And for it being basically free, especially if you have the new LR and then the 5 other free characters with the alternate ones or whatever, This is just going to be a team that works out very well for you and works very quickly. The synergy on this team is perfect. You really can't get much better for a synergy team. You can just see it's literally like 5 of the same art, just all different typings. They work extremely well together, and this is definitely going to be one of the better teams in the game. The fact that this team is free is really what pushes this up to the list, where this is a free-to-play team that is competing with summonable, like completely full summonable LR teams right now, and that has to get some bonus points. So definitely probably giving this team a little bit more of a boost than it should have, but I'm going to go ahead and say it just because I really like the fact that this is a free team. So Rose and the clones / super bosses, still one of the best teams in the game for sure. Okay, so last but not least here, I have the Pure Saiyan setup. Now, this is an extremely versatile team that has a lot of different ways that it can be ran. So specifically the one that I'm going to be focusing in on in this video is going to be the AGL Vegeta led setup for this team. Now, again, you can do a Tech Vegito setup. You could do a STR Blue Goku and Vegeta sort of setup with fused fighters, right? Pure Saiyan leaders. There's really not, like, aside from the 2 LRs, like a main sort of Pure Saiyan leader with like, I guess like what you could do. It's tough, right? Because if we pull up Pure Saiyans, the leaders right now, like the main 2 that I'd be running, be the year 10 LRs. But this team just has such a wide core of characters and so many like alternatives / all like honorable mention characters you can run on this setup that it's almost impossible to talk about all of them in one specific video and really make sure you're covering everything. But the main setups that I like to run for Pure Saiyans are the year 10 LRs or the Blue Goku and Vegeta. Those would be the 3 main LRs that I'm running for the 250% / 220% leader skill. And then the core 6 is going to be along the lines of the year 10 LRs, the year 7 LRs, the new Blue Goku and Vegeta, and then GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Now, the alternatives that I have focused here are a little bit event dependent, right? It is kind of ironic that I did all short event content focused characters, but what you can do is run Grade 8 Vegeta on this setup. You could run Tech Broly on this setup. You could run AGL UI Goku on this setup. You could run Int Namek Goku is another good character, right? There's just so many different ones. AGL Kid Goku from Saiyan Day, he's really good. I would have to like just pull up the category. I don't know why I don't have it open here while I'm looking at it, but I do have, like, you guys are looking at the graphic on the screen. I don't see it right now. It's just a black screen for me in the gameplay. But you guys know at this point how vast the Pure Saiyans category is at this point, right? So let's just keep moving here. It's got a little bit of everything, right? So when we look at the leaders for this specific setup, it's just, yeah, it's really just the year 10s in terms of just like a pure Saiyans leader, no pun intended. But you have characters like Kale and Caulifla, Int Broly, Tech UI Goku, Int Goku and Frieza. AGL Bardock can be ran on this team, right? The year 7 LRs, the year 6 LRs, version Z Goku, if you're a free-to-play player or you're just starting out. We have Tech Gogeta, STR Vegito, Angel Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, right? The Tech Broly EZA, AGL Kid Goku, Daima Vegeta, right? Daima Goku, Namek Vegeta for like something like Festival of Battles, AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So the list goes on and on and on and on and on for how Pure Saiyans can be ran. But like I said, right now, the core, we've got, I think this is probably just like the best setup, right? Like if you're just kind of like going into an event and you're trying to like gauge how difficult it is, this is a really good team to run where it's like, okay, does this team like just easily beat it or is it tested, right? I think that's really what it comes down to. So that is what I'm feeling for Pure Saiyans at the moment as one of the best teams in the game for sure. This has some of the best synergy in terms of how things are going to work. If you want to rotate like Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta with GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku, that could easily work, especially when you're into Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. That slot 1 potential is definitely going to be much higher. You could run like a setup with the gods as your rotations with like the LR gods and then the Blue Goku and Vegeta from GDC, or you could run like the Blue Goku and Vegeta with Tech Vegito in slot 2 to kind of keep him protected. There really are just like just an infinite amount of ways that you can run this team. And if you were to give yourself access to like successors or fused fighters, you could put Rose Goku Black on this setup if you want. It's not going to be the absolute best setup in the world, but nobody's stopping you from doing it. If you want to run like the Tech Vegito setup, you get access to units like Beast Gohan, and that's really helpful for short form content, long form content. Right now, there's just a lot of different ways that you could run this team, and I think that is really what separates it from some of the other ones in the game. So in my opinion, the best teams right now are some combination of fused fighters and Pure Saiyans. No surprise that Pure Saiyans is one of the best teams in the game at this point. You guys know how vast that roster is. And overall, that is just where I'm feeling in terms of the sort of overall content in the game right now. So Just to mention some other setups that I really like before we get out of here today. When it comes to like categories that I like, I think Final Trump card with the TN leader is really good. I like Earthbred Fighters right now with Mercenary Tau. You can run Glorio on Earthbred Fighters, which is a really good setup with the Mercenary Tau team. I think his leader is extremely good. Realm of Gods is basically back, but it doesn't really have like a true leader right now because you're not running Tech UI Goku as a leader. But if you can get away in theory with running Tech Merge Zamasu as a leader, especially if you're doing short form content, I think that El Realm of Gods is a really good setup right now. And just there's a whole bunch of other stuff. I think Tournament of Power is okay. Earthbred Fighters is a very good setup. Earth Protecting Heroes is a really good setup right now, just for the overall kind of scope of the game. Battle of Fate is okay, but a lot of the issue with these teams is they just blend back into other ones. So just keep that in mind for how the teams are going to be set up. But that's all I got for you in this one today. Let me know down below what you think of the formatting. And again, shout out to Havohe, I think that's how you say his name, for providing the sort of graphic inspiration, if you will. So let me know what you guys think of that. Again, if you think it's, you know, I shouldn't do it like that, I'm completely okay with it. And then obviously credit will be linked down below. I'll put a link in the description, in the pinned comment, all that fun stuff, and also mention them in the video. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what your favorite team is down below. What is the team that you were currently running and all of that fun stuff. If you did enjoy this one, don't forget to leave a like before you go and subscribe if you were new, so that way you don't miss out on any of my Dokkan content. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.